To begin. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Happy Women's Entrepreneurship Day. Thank you for joining us on this very, very important day. My name is Shauna Harper, and I'm the CEO of WeBC. Today, I'm joining you from the traditional and unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan people, today known as Kelowna. And I invite you all to take a moment to reflect on the land that you're joining from today. Our team, actually, Jen will put up a link there. If you don't know the territory you're on, definitely search it on there. And while you're doing that, I'm going to give a special shout out as well to, on this call, our core funders. I don't know, Bernadette Yuen, if you're on here, as well as Helen and Holly from Pacific Can, as well as our project funders for this fiscal year is ISID and Wage. And so thank you so much for your support of WeBC and for us to be able to do this. So as you'll see on this call, I'm excited to partner with the Forum and WEDO Canada on this virtual celebration. Kristen and I were just talking, can't believe it's already been a year. So I'll give a chance for my guests and co-presenters to introduce themselves. Over to you, Kirsten.
Thank you, Shauna. And yes, it is such an honor to again share Women's Entrepreneurship Day with you. My name is Kristen Kopang-Telford, and I'm the CEO of the Forum, which is a national charity that supports women entrepreneurs through access to knowledge, social, and financial capital. I live and work on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Squamish and Tsleil-Waututh Nation, also known as the Deep Cove community of North Vancouver. And I'm thrilled to be here joining Shauna and Amy today.
Over to you,
Pass
Amy.
it to Amy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Engelmark, and I'm the BC ambassador for WeDo, Women's Entrepreneurship Day organization. And our work focuses on helping women leaders grow businesses with more confidence through scholarships and support through community. So I live and work in the Comox Valley, which is the traditional unceded territory of the Comox First Nation. And I am so thankful to live and work here and build community in this beautiful place. And I'm honored to be a part of this conversation and celebrate Women's Entrepreneurship Day.
Perfect. Well, thank you. So Women's Entrepreneurship Day is a global movement. You've probably seen it all over LinkedIn if you've hopped onto social at all today. It's celebrated in 144 countries around the world. And this year, the theme is Invest in Her. So I invite you to all listen in your community, whether definitely in person, but also online as well, and look for the themes of community, investment, and impact, especially today and throughout the next few weeks as we start to roll out the Invest in Her theme through this year. And today there's a really big announcement because the province of BC has announced that BC's official proclamation of Women's Entrepreneurship Day. And the Honorable Ravi Kahlon, the Minister of Jobs and Economic Growth, has a message for us. He couldn't be here today, but he wanted to send us a short message in this video that we're going to be showing quickly here.
Good afternoon. I want to start by acknowledging that I'm speaking to you from the traditional territory of the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. So sorry that I cannot be there in person, but honored to join you virtually to celebrate Women's Entrepreneurship Day. This day is to recognize the incredible contributions women make to our economy, our communities, and our collective future. Thank you to WeBC and the Forum for the important work you do to support women, entrepreneurs, and business owners to succeed and prosper. Women entrepreneurs in BC are driving innovation. They're creating good paying jobs and building resilient businesses. From tech startups to local shops, you are shaping the economic landscape in powerful ways. As BC's Minister of Jobs and Economic Growth, I am proud to celebrate your successes because I know they benefit everyone in our province. Women entrepreneurs are the fastest growing segment of entrepreneurship. We're seeing more women entering the trades and starting their own businesses. I think of Leah's Automotive in North Vancouver, a great example of a women-owned company that's thriving and helping shift perceptions in the industry. And their success goes beyond profits. it drives positive social change and environmental change. Nearly 70% of women-led businesses focus on making positive impact in our communities. Over 60% prioritize sustainability, and more than 1/3 are actively working to reduce waste. These numbers reflect the values and vision women like you bring to entrepreneurship. But we know the path to entrepreneurship is not the same for everyone. Women, especially in high growth sectors, remain underrepresented in entrepreneurship and still face too many systemic barriers in accessing capital, finding tailored support, and growth networks. We've heard these concerns echoed by businesses across the province. Economic uncertainty is growing, and unjustified tariff pressures from south of the border are adding to the strain. Even in these conditions, BC continues to show remarkable resilience, powered by a diverse economy and by people who know how to innovate, adapt, and lead. Our government is committed to building a more inclusive economy where everyone has the opportunity to succeed. We're supporting women entrepreneurs like you by moving major projects forward, including those led by women in emerging sectors, training people for the jobs of today and the industries of tomorrow, hearing from you on your challenges and suggestions to address them, diversifying our economy so it stays strong, adaptable, no matter what comes next. Our trade diversification strategy helps businesses like yours grow and expand to new markets and create good paying jobs for British Columbians. Through our engagement, our Ease of Doing Business initiative is making it easier for you to run a business. And through initiatives like social impact purchasing, we're opening doors to diverse suppliers, including women-owned businesses, to compete for government contracts and access the training that you need to thrive. We know there's a lot more work to do, but we're listening. Together, we can break down barriers, build a stronger and fairer economy, one where everyone has a chance to succeed. I want to thank you and wish you a happy Women's Entrepreneurship Day.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you to the minister for taking the time to do that video and opening for us. Definitely what he said there around the investment in high growth, but also that women are very underrepresented in those areas. So there's definitely more work to do. We have a long road to gender parity, and that's why the celebration is more important than ever. The proclamation, the commitment of the province of BC is to recognize the contributions of women business owners to our economy, and that is more important than ever. So on this, I'm wondering if you all have a glass, and if not a glass, a mug or something to gently kind of toast and celebrate with us. So I just realized my back screen. This is a mug that I have. To be able to just say, you know, a cheers to all the women business owners who are shaping Canada's future, British Columbia's future. We're toasting your courage, your creativity, your impact. And to all the organizations and members, the staff that are working behind the scenes and our collective communities who are here to support you. So cheers to that, and for the proclamation there before we kind of go into the rest of the programming. So cheers.
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 Perfect. Oh yeah, I do have to take a sip if I'm going to cheers.
Take a sip, yeah.
There we go. Perfect. I love all the hearts. Thank you, everyone. So on this, these big announcements and proclamations are incredible. You know, it brings more attention to it, and that definitely does matter. And I know for some of you, just making it online today may feel like a win. You know, you got there, and you're juggling a lot. You know, we took a look at the list, and I think 90% of the people that signed up here are entrepreneurs that have come. You know, before I came to be the CEO of WeBC, I was an entrepreneur for 22 years. So I know what it's like to, you know, have late nights and tough decisions, and sometimes even some self-doubt, and I guess the hustle and the grit it takes to keep on going. And so gathering in community like this is so important because entrepreneurship, when not done with community, can feel very lonely. And that every kind of late night or challenging type thing that you have to overcome is hard without community. And so, a really big part of it for you to remember that you're not just building a business, you're building a legacy that changes communities and opens doors for other women. I was just recently in Prince George this past weekend, walked into a store that homespun up in Prince George, and she was a woman-owned business, and she ended up having all these other products all purchased that she bought from other women that she was selling to. So I think of, the jobs that she created, the women that she was supporting from buying from their businesses. When women succeed, we all succeed. And so a big part of this too is to know that, it's not just the right thing to do. Women-owned businesses generate over 90 billion annually and employ nearly 1 million Canadians. Here in BC, 69% of women entrepreneurs integrate social impact into their business. So it's not just even about business, it's also about impact. I know Minister Callan had given a couple of stats around that as well. And so today, WeBC actually released our 5-year impact report. It was a deep dive into kind of what we've done in the past 5 years when we invest in women. As many of you know, we have a loan fund. And really, the headline stat that we had today was that every single dollar loaned to a WeBC client created $15.44 of economic impact. That's a ripple effect of investing in her. And so this is something that's super important to realize. This isn't just a social initiative we have, but an economic way to economic impact that we're actually having. And so the proof is that when women have access to capital and support, they don't just grow their businesses, they also grow their communities. And that's why the theme invest in her is so powerful. It's not just about financial investment. Yes, definitely. We need capital to grow our businesses, but it's also investing in relationships, collaboration, purpose. And that's why we wanted to make sure we also brought partners into this proclamation. And today's session with the Forum and WEDO Canada, we've worked really hard this past year to make sure that with WEDO summits right across Canada, that we've been able to help support them right across Canada with the funding we've been able to get from ISED. And then the Forum as well, a partnership we have with the Forum is to deliver our mentorship programs nationally. And so collaboration is a big part of this women's ecosystem, and I see it all the time in women's entrepreneurship as entrepreneurs collaborate as well. It's funny because I'm often asked, I'm in panels and do talks like this. Well, aren't you all in competition? Don't you and the Forum do the same thing? And it's like, absolutely not. There is so much work. There are 2 organizations working on this. And so it's something where Krista and I are often in discussion, our organizations are in discussion to say, okay, you work on this and we'll work on this because there's so much to do. And there's so much support that needs to happen. And Amy, you've seen firsthand, I think, women use business as a tool for inclusion and social change. You just hosted an event in your community. I'm going to maybe throw it over to you now and just try to figure out maybe if you can answer for us, how do you see, I guess, collaboration and community shaping the future of women's entrepreneurship?
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to speak to that. First, I wanted to say thank you because your support across the nation, across all of our summits, really did go to making them happen and providing that valuable event for people. So thanks again. And so happy to be here. So yeah, I see collaboration and courage and strategy and support being key to women business owners and their growth. And when we have that interdependent business model functioning, instead of women holding on to an outdated independent business model where we are the lone wolf, we've got the lone wolf syndrome, and we're thinking that it's all up to me. I have to do this on my own, and we're carrying the heavy load on our own shoulders. It's a really slow, unsustainable business model. And so collaboration and partnerships are like game changers for women in business because we are able to create the impact in our communities that we want to. We're able to grow profit and be a gift to others. And like you said, leave that legacy. I wanted to touch on how we need to be, if we're to set aside that lone wolf syndrome and not just invest in invest in others, but allow ourselves to be invested in and allow ourselves to receive help, that when we do, other people in our communities are blessed. They grow, they get the solutions that your service or your product provides. And that can be a hard pill to swallow. But I want you to remember, if you're listening to that message, that it is equal for you to receive as it is for you to give. It doesn't make you less than. So I'll leave you with this personal reflection where community and accepting help was key to my own transformation as a business leader. When I realized in the first couple of years of my practice, my business, how important it was for me to reach out and allow myself to accept help, whether you're looking for help right now in funding or mentorship, or maybe you're looking for community, you need a change of mindset. Whatever that is, for me, it was needing strategy and also courage. So investing in myself looked like getting help. And that was the year that my business took off, right? And my profit accelerated and the heaviness lifted. So if you're looking for that, you're going to find it in collaboration and in community.
Perfect. Well, that's where I think the forums, work that you do, launching the Forum 200, Kirsten, I'd love to hear a little bit more about that and kind of how, that program there is kind of that important next step for women entrepreneurs.
Yeah, thanks for that, Shauna, and thanks for your comments, Amy. I think just to I think in my own experience as an entrepreneur, and now supporting, the forum supports thousands of women every year. One of the things that really is a barrier to that growth is this sense that we're supposed to know it all, that we have to have everything perfect before we show up and ask somebody to help us go to the next step. And so I think the themes around accepting help, accepting, knowing that it takes a village to raise our entrepreneurial babies. This is really key. It's a key to the forum's overall community approach, and particularly to the Forum 200. So the Forum 200 is a new initiative that is focused on providing deeper support to 200 women a year who are working to scale their businesses and increase their impact. And it really is the recognition that at that stage, as women are at a stage where they are trying to grow complex businesses, where they're trying to reach a certain scale of business, that they need access to they need access to others that are at the same stage. They need access to people that have done it before in similar industries. They need access to expertise. So it really does activate a network of support around those entrepreneurs to help them to grow. And really the driving force behind that goes back to this word community that we've all touched on, because looking at this initiative for us, when we think about the impact that we want to have in the world, we recognize the massive impact that women-led businesses can have on our communities as a whole. Whether you're a solopreneur, you're the service providers, the smaller teams, these are businesses that fuel our communities, create jobs, and really build the backbone of the country. But then at the same time, we realize that we need to actually intentionally unlock pathways for women who are ready to grow, to have bigger growth trajectories. Because when women scale their businesses, they don't just grow their own companies, their own economic bottom line. They create economic mobility. They hire, they innovate. Women solve different problems. The more diversity we have in general and in entrepreneurship, the more different types of solutions that we come up with. And so as these businesses grow, we see more and more of that innovation. We also see a shift in what leadership looks like, across whole sectors, as we see more balance of men and women in leadership positions. And, we think right now this could not be more critical. The federal government is proposing investment of billions into major capital priorities that we have in this country: energy and infrastructure and technology. This is good news for the country, but these are sectors where women remain dramatically underrepresented. So investing in women means creating pathways for women to lead and contribute and compete in those high impact spaces as well. It's really for us about ensuring that women have access to opportunities across the full spectrum of the economy, including these sectors and stages where decisions and capital and influence are shaping our country. And so speaking from personal experience, also as an entrepreneur, scaling is different than starting. Back to that point of, it means asking for more help, not less. It requires new strategies and new networks, and often a different mindset. And so, this is where we see that community and mentorship become really critical. And, I'll close by saying this morning, I was sitting in a round table with scaling climate tech women entrepreneurs. And this group essentially said it all. These are women that are trying to solve major problems in our society. They are ready to scale. And the conversation that was happening was really around the common thread of the challenges that they were facing and how much they were learning from each other in coming together in that environment. And then the key takeaway of the importance of mentorship, the importance that they could get access to people who had done it before. And this is the work that we're doing, with WeBC, with our mentorship programs, and with the Forum 200. So, really these programs are not just about scaling bottom lines, they're about bigger impact in so many different avenues. We know that when women grow, communities actually do transform. And so when we invest in women, we invest in all of us. And I'll close with a toast to all of you who are entrepreneurs on this call. And thank you for your bravery in taking this path and making change in all the different ways that you do in our communities.
Oh, thank you, Kirsten, and to Amy as well. Both of you kind of, spoke about two different things. I mean, Amy, about investing in yourself, absolutely. Taking that step where it's kind of like, I can do this myself, but do it in community. It is better, and faster, and you grow deeper. And Kirsten, I was on a call this morning too, all about the federal investment and the budget and the policy, and it's wonderful. This, once in a generation kind of investment, it seems like, in tech and clean growth, but those are all, defense, all areas that are still very much underrepresented, which means we need very clear gender targets, so that the allocation of the budget that doesn't necessarily have a gender lens has a set aside to make sure that women entrepreneurs don't miss that opportunity. So hopefully, through some of this work that we're going to do together, we can definitely make that happen. On the entrepreneurial side, I know at least our organization sends out a lot of surveys. And before you participate in one of our programs, there's another survey or another form that you have to fill out. The importance of filling those forms out so that we can collect the data to show where these gaps are, to show that we need to increase these gender targets in these underrepresented areas. It's really important. So thank you for those entrepreneurs that don't skip through those questions and answer it, knowing that you're laying down a foundation for the future generation of entrepreneurs that don't need to necessarily get the funding, but because it's already going to be so common to see, not just 15% of women in tech or under 10% in, climate change or in clean growth sectors. So on that, gosh, 30 minutes flew by. I can't believe I've got 4 minutes left here. So to wrap up quickly, Amy, what is your, I guess, call to action? How else can community maybe reach you or see some of the WEDO programs and offerings that WEDO has?
Yeah, great. So you can reach me personally. I think that Shonda will be including information that, uh, there we go. Wonderful. Thank you, Shonda. You can reach me personally there if you have questions that you feel like are more personal. If you want to get the help from WeDo, every year we have an event. It just happened on Vancouver Island. We just met yesterday in Vancouver. I believe that Toronto, Calgary, Montreal, wherever there's many events that you could join us at. I want to encourage you, if you want to access funding, apply for one of our scholarships. It's $2,500, and you'll see the information there on the website. It's very simple to apply, and we want to be able to make your path easier moving forward. So I wanted to leave you with some encouragement, because sometimes we forget that our belief in ourselves and taking that courageous step is really worth it. Sometimes it's challenging to remember that. But I think it was Kirsten who was saying the legacy, or maybe it was you, Shauna, the legacy that we pass down, that we don't even consider sometimes, to our own children, of what we're teaching them through our actions, or our grandchildren and great grandchildren, how we're impacting the families' lives who benefit from our service or product. Remember that you're needed, and that the solution that you provide is creating a ripple effect. So take advantage of the support, the community, the capital that you can access through all of our organizations. It doesn't take much to reach out your hand for support.
Perfect. Thanks, Amy. And Kirsten, how about how do they find out more about the 200 program and also many other things that the
Yeah.
fund does too? Yeah.
So the best way to find out information about the forum, our website, theforum.ca. And yes, the Forum 200 is only one initiative that the forum offers. We offer support to entrepreneurs at all stages, across all sectors. And so definitely encourage you to reach out. I see Erica from our team has just popped the link in. And yeah, we would love to see you in the community if you're not already. And I will close there. I will say, Amy, your comment about what we pass on to the next generation. One of the things that was probably kept me going the most in my entrepreneurial journey was hearing my at the time, very young daughter say to my son when he was trying to give up, he was going to give up on something. And she said, "Don't give up, Matthew. If mom gave up, there would be no mom's company." And,
They're watching.
they're
I love
watching.
that. Yeah.
They're watching. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much, everyone. Shauna.
Thank you. And so for WeBC, we have our website up there, but for those of you that are on the call, you might know about our SMART programs. They're on-demand courses available 24/7 for growth entrepreneurs and for entrepreneurs looking to set up the foundation for growth. We also have our peer mentoring intake right now, and so that's a very popular program. So definitely add yourself to the wait list if that is something that interests you. And then the last part is just our 5-year impact report. So I mentioned some of the stats from that to be able to see some of the stats if you're the government person on here, but for the entrepreneurs to see some of the stories we've included in the impact report about the entrepreneurs we have supported and through whether it was our business loans, our mentorship programs, or other skills development programs that we've had. So definitely check out that 5-year report. We'll have all the links and a follow-up email as well. So just in case you don't catch them in time. Other than that, I want to thank everyone for taking time. I know everyone has very busy schedules, and so taking time to join us today for the celebration, and specifically, Kirsten and Amy from both of your organizations as well. Today is a very busy day in our ecosystem. So for you to take the time to join us to co-host this together. I'm hoping that everyone felt, you're going to leave inspired and you feel supported, and definitely want to share whatever you can on social to help us continue to increase the visibility of the programs that we have so that more entrepreneurs can be served. And make sure today you invest in her. Find a woman entrepreneur that you can purchase from, because at the end of the day, we also need you to be purchasing from all women entrepreneurs to keep the ecosystem alive. We're celebrating this whole ripple effect of investing in her and how it transforms businesses, communities, and economies. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.